Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel for another Total Extreme Wrestling video. We are moving on swiftly to SummerSlam 2020. Now there's some big matches. We've already set up some big matches still to set up, but we are moving along. And of course, this week in NXT UK sees the NXT UK Championship on the line. Maverick looking to take the title from Volta. We'll see. Anyway, let's move it on. Let's go to Raw, where we are opening up with the WWE Champion, and we're main eventing with the WWE Champion when he takes on REY Mysterio. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's 61 segment to open up. Again, this lack of anything interesting is bugging me when you do a freestyle angle. I really wish there was a way you could fix this. It feels like a bug in the game. It just doesn't feel right. Anyway, what happens here is AJ Styles gets on the mic and he comes out and he calls out Drew McIntyre. And he says, Drew, if you want a championship match against me at SummerSlam, you need to come out here right now. Drew comes out and he looks ready to fight, as quite rightfully he was annoyed last week, couldn't get his hands on AJ until right at the end. He's ready to do it again this week. And AJ goes, whoa, stop right there. I will give you a championship match at SummerSlam under one condition. You sign this here contract that says, if you lay your hands on me from now until SummerSlam, you lose the right to have a championship match. You go to the back of the line. You will not get a title match. You'll have to earn your way back through the ranks to the top again. Deal or no deal? Drew reluctantly agrees, signs the contract. Drew McIntyre cannot touch AJ Styles until SummerSlam unless he is attacked himself by AJ. It's similar to what Cena and JBL did in about 2005. I think it worked quite well there. I think it suits these two right now. Drew full of passion and anger. He's got to control it. He's got to use his brain to get to SummerSlam. AJ, the wily heel, looking to use his brain to get past Drew here. 61 is okay. Opening contest though sees the Raw Women's Champion in action. Becky Lynch taking on Lana for a 70 rated matchup. Well done, Becky Lynch, getting 70. That is the 3.5 star matchup with Lana. Becky Lynch is wow. 72 from Becky. Lana 53 is okay. And Becky gets a good victory. A really good victory over someone who's a wrestler / a manager. So it kind of works. Afterwards, in an 86 rated segment. Now, why is this nothing in? Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, Becky gets on the mic and calls out Shayna Baszler. She wants to fight again right now. Anytime she can get her hands on Shayna Baszler, she will. It doesn't matter that she took a beating last week. She wants to fight Shayna Baszler right now. But Shayna Baszler doesn't come out to the ring. Shayna Baszler pops up on the Titantron, and Shayna Baszler is in Becky Lynch's dressing room. Shayna Baszler is going through the bags and finds what she's looking for. Of course, Becky, when she's wrestling, can't be wearing jewellery, and that includes her engagement ring. Shayna has Becky's engagement ring and smashes it to pieces with a little hammer or something. Smashes it to pieces. Becky's engagement ring, given to her by Seth Rollins earlier in the year, or last year, I suppose it was. And yeah, Becky is furious at it. Shayna, a personal blow to get in the mind of Becky Lynch. 86 rated segment is pretty good. Becky, of course, then rushes to the back, hunting Shayna Baszler. We'll see what happens later on in the show. Kevin Owens was in action for a 64 rated matchup with Brendan Vink here. This is pretty good. Owens 70, Brendan Vink 42. So to get a 64 out of a 42 performance, well done, Kevin Owens. The pop-up powerbomb does the business against a man you expect him to beat, but someone who could, if he puts in good performances, could improve up the card. So you want to give them these opportunities. He gets one here against Owens. Never going to win, but hopefully he looked good out there against KO. Afterwards, he cut a promo on Randy Orton for 73 in the ring, talking about the fact that, last week Orton may have been right. Orton may have been right about the fact that Owens has maybe lost his edge a little bit at times. But now Orton's awakened it. Now Orton has awakened a monster in Kevin Owens, and he better run, because KO is coming for the RKO. Seth Rollins got a backstage promo on Edge, talking about the fact that Edge has called him out. Edge wants this match. Well, Edge is going to get this match. Similar to main event last week, talking about it'll be the biggest mistake of his life, when actually all Edge should do is stay at home with little ugly kids. Stay at home with his ugly kids. That's what Seth Rollins is going to say there. That's going to come up. Just a promo to hype up the match with Edge for 79. Really good stuff. He was then in 6-man tag action, teaming with the AOP against Apollo Crews, R-Truth, and Titus O'Neil for a 73. Wow, that's much better than I expected it to be, mainly due to the fact that Seth Rollins put in an 85 performance. Wow, that's incredible. Rezar 48. Akam 46, R-Truth, Titus and Apollo mid-50s. Akam, Apollo and Titus were off the game, but Seth Rollins really stood out, and he got the pin over Titus O'Neil. A good win for Seth Rollins here, and a 73 rated 6-man tag with some of these involved. Seth Rollins is a magic man. It's then announced we'll be seeing Rollins next week when he has to sign the contract. Edge will be here on Raw to sign the contract for SummerSlam. Edge and Seth Rollins will make it official next week. There'll also be this match next week in a 6-man tag. It'll be Kevin Owens teaming up with the Viking Raiders to take on Randy Orton and the Disciples. The Disciples will be putting the tag team titles on the line tonight. Will they be champions by the time they get to this 6-man tag next week on Raw? Talking about a tag match, a 72 rated tag match here. Really good here. The United States Champion Andrade, the Ultimate United States Champion, and Angel Garza defeat Cedric and Akira with about 14 minutes. Andrade beating Akira. Andrade carried it with a 73 rated performance. Fabulous from him. Angel Garza 60, not bad at all. Cedric 60. Akira Tozawa 54. Good match here. Good 3.5 star Raw match. Really good show so far, to be fair. Andrade is forced into the match, but he's obviously distracted because obviously we don't have Zelina Vega back yet. Ignore that. So he is distracted, but he gets the job done. Afterwards, he gets on the mic and demands that Zelina Vega is returned to him. A 52 rate segment. Lack of anything interesting happening again. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Andrade gets on the mic and says, I want Zelina Vega back right now. The lights go out and the lights come back on. There is no Zelina Vega, but sat in front of Andrade in the ring is a contract. And on the contract it reads, United States Championship match, SummerSlam. And it says, Aleister Black signed. He signed it. And there's a space for Andrade to confirm the match for SummerSlam. Aleister Black says, if you want Zelina back, you've got to sign it, basically. Andrade reluctantly signs it, places it down on the mat, and the lights go out again. The lights come back on, and the contract is gone. And Zelina is there in the ring in torn up, tattered clothes from what she was wearing last week. She looks a mess. She's shaking. She's crying. She is an absolute mess. Andrade goes to console her. Zelina pushes him away. Andrade is a bit freaked out. And Zelina goes, I am done. I am done with this. I can't do this anymore. I am done. And Zelina walks away up the ramp and seemingly away from Monday Night Raw. So I did say Zelina Vega in-game has announced she's pregnant, with obviously Aleister Black's kid, ironically. So we wanted to do a little bit of a creative way to get rid of her here, and Aleister Black gets his title match along the way. Zelina Vega is freaked out. She doesn't want to be a part of this, and she has left WWE in theory. We will bring her back eventually, but yeah, for now she's out. We're going to write her out storylines with this, and it means Andrade, Garza and Theory are a little bit leaderless right now, so we'll see what happens. The next matchup sees Randy Orton in action, taking on Humberto Carrillo. And now this one might surprise a few. Let's see what the segment rating is. Okay, he gets to 63. Randy Orton off his game, and that's no surprise because I asked him to lose to Humberto Carrillo. Now, that sounds a bit bizarre. 76 from Orton, 47 from Carrillo. But the main point of this is Kevin Owens comes running down, Stone Cold style, to interfere against Randy Orton. The referee is distracted, and a stunner into the pin. Humberto gets a shocking victory over Randy Orton, who to me loses nothing from this. It was always about Kevin Owens' interference. Orton had it in hand until Owens interfered and cost him the matchup. Orton doesn't like losing, as you can see, and, well, didn't put in the performance. Well, I don't know, he still put in 76. At 63, Humberto's pop is low. It is what it is. I'll take it. It's not bad. I maybe thought it might have been a bit better. But Karrion has beaten Orton here in a bit of a shocker. Backstage, Becky Lynch is looking for Shayna Baszler when Shayna attacks her from behind and leaves her lying in the backstage area for 73. Shayna has seemingly got the upper hand on Becky week after week. Let's see what happens next week. Next week, when Shayna will be in action, she's taking on Kairi Sane, but the important thing to note here is that he won't be a normal referee. The Raw Women's Champion, the man Becky Lynch, will be special guest referee for this one. It's Shayna and Kairi with Becky as the referee. Up next, the Raw Tag Team Championships are on the line. It's the Disciples against the Street Profits, the winners. And still Raw Tag Team Champions, Murphy and Benjamin, the Disciples. 66 for this. This is pretty good, actually. Much better than I thought it'd be. 63 for Montez, really carried it. 59 for Murphy, 55 Shelton, 56 from Dawkins. And the finish for this one sees Akam get involved, AOP get involved, distracting the Street Profits to allow Murphy to hit Murphy's Law on Angelo Dawkins, and their third defense of the titles are successful. 66 for the match. Afterwards, out come the Viking Raiders, and the Street Profits as well get involved, and as do AOP. All four teams getting involved with each other, and a bit of miscommunication sees Murphy clothesline Akam, and the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders take over from there. As the faces leave, the heels sort of pick themselves back up, and AOP lay out Murphy with the, I don't know what their finishing move's called, I forget now, but the powerbomb thing they do. They lay out Murphy. A little bit of dissension maybe in the ranks of the Disciples. That's something that we may pick up on next week. 54 for that post-match segment, by the way, is okay for that storyline, to be honest. It's okay. Ahead of the main event, Drew McIntyre got a promo on AJ Styles for 74. He's improving his promos. Improvised well without a script this time and did very, very well. Talking about the fact that, yeah, he can't touch AJ right now and it's going to really, really hurt him. But at SummerSlam, he promises a world of pain for AJ Styles, and he promises the WWE Championship will return to his shoulder. Okay, then, main event time. It's a bit of a dream match. We've done this before and it didn't work as well. Let's see what it does this time. AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio gives us a 77 main event. Hell yes. AJ Styles gets the victory with the Styles Clash in about 15 minutes. 76 from AJ, 61 from Rey. We can say Drew was out there by the end of the match. AJ Styles starts the match and he's mocking Drew along the way. Every time he's on offense, he's doing Drew McIntyre poses. He even does a couple of Drew McIntyre's moves. A headbutt here. Do you know what I mean? He can hit the double underhook DDT, I forgot the name, but you know the move I'm on about. AJ can mock Drew along the way. It brings Drew out to watch, but Drew can't do a thing. Drew cannot get involved. Drew cannot touch AJ Styles right now, and Drew has to watch as AJ defeats Rey Mysterio with the Styles Clash. After the match, again, Drew can't do a thing and AJ knows it, so he takes advantage, destroying Rey Mysterio and hitting a 91 rated segment here. And Rey underperformed. Wow. Is that the best segment we've ever had? I think it might be. Anyway, AJ absolutely goes in on Rey Mysterio. Drew is forced to watch, and a steel chair is laid underneath Rey Mysterio for another Styles Clash, and Drew is forced to watch it all. 91, wow. And that gives us a 77 rated Raw. I feel like that's a little bit low. I feel like it could be better. It's still good. It's still a good Raw. A couple of really good segments. That's fabulous, by the way. Really, really, really good. In 86 as well for the women earlier. Things are moving along really, really well for Raw right now. Okay, we move on to main event. We've got a pretty big show planned. Bizarrely big show planned. And I think you'll be happy with it. We open up with Charlotte Flair defeating Natalya in about 14 minutes. These two experienced rivals, they've wrestled each other a lot and they always put on a good show. 62, yeah, no problem at all. 3-star matchup on main event. Yeah, hell yeah. 62 from Charlotte, Natalya 59. Good start to the show. And Charlotte picks up a win. She's been losing a little bit lately. We're going to give her a win here. She's not involved in storyline at the moment. She's not really going to be involved at SummerSlam, which may shock a few. but we want to keep her on the minds of people so she gets a win here. We move on to promo time. It's main event. It's promo time. And first up, Randy Orton cuts a promo on Kevin Owens, calling Kevin Owens a disgrace to the company for what he did last week. Humberto didn't beat him. Kevin Owens didn't beat him. A travesty beat Randy Orton. And he will get revenge next week. Don't you worry about that. Kevin Owens, watch your back, because the Viper is ready to strike. 69, you expect Orton to do a little bit better there. 64 for a team meeting. Andrade, Garza and Theory are backstage discussing what their plans are. What are they going to do now that Zelina has left them? And Andrade is thinking, he's struggling, he's wondering what to do. When in walks Lana. Lana walks in and says, so I hear there's a spot. There's a spot open. Here's my card. Lana hands over the card and leaves and makes the offer that she'll fill Zelina's boots maybe and be the matriarch of this stable. 64, actual storyline progression here on main event. The Viking Raiders were in action, defeating Damian Priest and Brian Kendrick up from NXT to give us a good match here. 58, you actually kind of expect better. Ivar and Erich 60 and 56, 42 from Brian Kendrick and Priest 54. It's fine for main event, to be fair. It's fine for main event, and the Viking Raiders get another victory as their momentum towards the Tag Team Championships keeps improving. They'll be in action on Raw next week, of course, as part of that six-man tag against the Tag Team Champions. Let's see what happens with them next week. Becky Lynch got a promo on Shayna Baszler for 71, talking about the fact she won't stop fighting. She will never stop fighting, and it's going to take a lot to get this championship away from her. She can attack her backstage all she wants. She can destroy her engagement ring, but it doesn't change the fact that Becky Lynch is the man. She's got this Raw Women's Championship, and there is nobody worthy of taking it off her. 71 is okay. From there, you go to Drew McIntyre, cutting a promo on AJ Styles for 70. Again, talking about the same things that he's saying on Raw, that it's going to hurt him not to be able to touch AJ Styles. And actually, one thing he does here is apologises to Rey Mysterio, because usually he would have stopped AJ Styles from doing what he did, but he couldn't. And he apologises to Rey Mysterio. 70 for a good promo, ahead of a hell of a main event, hopefully. It's going to be Drew McIntyre teaming up with Aleister Black against Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Why not? Why not? Let's see what happens. A 72 rated main event on main event. McIntyre and Black don't work well as a team. That's frustrating. That is frustrating. But still at 72. And it's all about McIntyre's 71 performance. Aleister Black was poor with the 60. O'Reilly 60 and Bobby Fish 58. They killed it as well. Good end to a main event there, which gets us to 71. Watch the C shows, guys. Watch them. Okay, then NXT, we're just 2 weeks away from NXT TakeOver 30. We set up loads of matches last week. You've got the Women's Championship match, you've got the NXT Championship match, you've got Ciampa and Karrion Kross, you've got Gargano and Kushida. Let's continue that tonight as we start to ramp it up even more. Adam Cole will be taking on Dominik Dijakovic, and Keith Lee will have a mystery partner against the Undisputed Era. Let's start, though, with the Bro. Riddle in the ring for a 75 rated segment with Finn Balor. Riddle comes down, immediately gives a medical update on Pete Dunne. Of course, last week took the concerto from Finn Balor, and Matt Riddle says, my boy Pete is going to be out for a few weeks, my bro Pete, and you know what? I am very, very, very peeved off about it. And there's one man I'm peeved off at. That man is Finn Balor. He calls out Balor. They have an argument back and forth, and finally they set the date. They agree to it. Balor agrees to Riddle's challenge. NXT TakeOver 30. Matt Riddle versus Finn Balor. Good start to the show though. 75. Good segment. Really, 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 really good stuff. Kushida was in action in the opening contest of this NXT episode. He defeated Damian Priest for a 63, just under 10 minutes. And yeah, okay, Kushida was off his game a little bit. Priest 58, Kushida 57. But a win for Kushida continues some momentum into NXT TakeOver 30 when he takes on Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. So a little bit more momentum. You say Gargano was on commentary for this. We'll see Gargano later on in the night when he will take on Jake Atlas. Tommaso Ciampa got a promo on Karrion Kross, the 73, talking about all the dastardly and dastardly things he's going to do to Karrion Kross at TakeOver 30 when these two go one-on-one in a last man standing match. Ciampa says Karrion Kross, he's new here. He doesn't realise the psycho that he's unleashed. The black heart of Tommaso Ciampa will come full circle at TakeOver 30. Six-man tag action here as Isaiah Swerve Scott and Breezango defeat Araya Daivari, Brian Kendrick and Elijo del Fantasma. 54 is okay for this. Tyler Breeze the best of the lot with a 57. Fandango 50 is up there as a second. And then the rest, Swerve 45, 43 for Fantasma, 45 for Bryan, and 39 for Araya Daivari. It is what it is, but a six-man tag. Afterwards, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Grizzled Young Veterans, get on the microphone and they say, you know what? That was impressive. That was impressive. So next week, I'm going to give you a tag team championship match. Breezango get on the mic straight away and start to talk about how they're going to win the titles next week. And Zach Gibson goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. It was Isaiah Swerve Scott who got the victory. He pinned Araya Daivari. It's Isaiah Swerve Scott who gets the championship match. Find yourself a partner, Isaiah, and you'll have a tag team title match next week. Breezango are peeved. Grizzled Young Veterans ducking and diving away from Breezango yet again today. 49 for that promo, by the way, from Grizzled Young Veterans, so it's okay without being special. Up next, Finn Balor enters William Regal's office and says, look, I'll do this match. 71, by the way, really good. I'll do this match with Matt Riddle. I get that it's a showcase match for you, a takeover quality matchup, and I'll do it. I will beat Matt Riddle, but I want to know why. I want to know why I should do the match. I want to know why I should beat Matt Riddle. So I say this. Riddle, Balor, TakeOver 30, number one contenders match. Balor wants a shot at the NXT Championship and he wants a reason to fight Matt Riddle. And Balor finds his reason. Regal agrees. Balor and Riddle is confirmed as from earlier. But now there's a little caveat. The winner will get an NXT Championship matchup. Karrion Kross was in action, defeating Tony Nese in just under 6 minutes. Domination here from Karrion Kross. Absolutely dominated him. 62 is okay. Tony Nese 44. It's all about the story though. And yeah, Karrion Kross looks good. And afterwards gets on the mic, cuts a promo on Tommaso Ciampa. Struggled a little bit, which is a shame. And we are really hyping up these two now. Last man standing in 2 weeks. Karrion Kross and Tommaso Ciampa will go to war. The women's champion Dakota Kai was in action against Casey Catanzaro. Just sort of under 4 minutes here. Because time was running out on this show. We've packed in a lot really. And yeah, 43 is okay. 52 from Dakota. 33 from Casey. Not got a lot of popularity. So a decent little match. Decent little sprint. Nothing more than that, and a win for the women's champion. Afterwards, she gets on the mic, talks about the fact that Tegan isn't worthy of a championship opportunity, and she's got video to prove it. And she pulls out a video on the Titantron of a clip that Tegan sent to Dakota when they were injured. They were injured together, of course, weren't they, with Team Kick. And Tegan is in tears. Tegan is doubting herself. Tegan is questioning whether she's worthy. It's a really embarrassing clip, I suppose. It's when Tegan was at her lowest ebb, and Dakota Kai is showing the world this clip. Tegan comes out furious that Dakota Kai has shown this clip, looking for a fight, but she falls right into Dakota Kai's plan. It's a 42 rated segment, which wasn't great. All three didn't need a scripting this week, which is a shame. Walks right into the plan, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez team up to defeat Tegan Nox on the beatdown, a 2-on-1 beatdown. And Tegan needs to be smarter than that. She's fell for the plan quite easily. Johnny Gargano was in action against Jake Atlas for a 74 rated matchup. Really good stuff here. 82 from Johnny Gargano is amazing. Jake Atlas 38. An under 10 minute sprint, and Gargano was putting in 82. Wowzers. Really, really good stuff from the North American champion. Afterwards, out comes Kushida for an attack though, and Kushida stands tall, beating Gargano down for a 62 rated segment. These two will have I'm thinking they'll have a sleeper of a hell of a match, to be honest. Not a lot of people are expecting this to be a match of the night when you've got Adam Cole and Keith Lee also on the card, Matt Riddle and Finn Balor also on the card. But this one is the one that I think may surprise a few. Speaking of Adam Cole, he was in action against Dominik Dijakovic and got a 76 rated matchup. We did this a few weeks ago and it worked really well. Wanting to do it again, Adam Cole 80, Dominik Dijakovic 45. They had great chemistry and they've smashed out a 76. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. 3 3/4 star matchup on NXT is what you want to see. I am pleased with that. Watching backstage was Keith Lee, who then got a promo on Adam Cole talking about he's impressed with that victory. He knows it's difficult to beat Dominik Dijakovic, but he's not Dominik Dijakovic. He is Keith Lee. He is the glorious Keith Lee, and Adam Cole can only just bask in his glory. Yeah, not a great promo here from Keith Lee. 63 struggled without a script this time. Interesting how that works. Not every week that works. Interesting. But 63 is still okay. Ahead of the main event where Keith Lee will have a mystery partner against Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And he reveals his mystery partner is Velveteen Dream. 67 for the announcement. A pop from the crowd. Velveteen Dream is back. Hasn't been here for a few weeks now. He is back tonight, teaming up with Keith Lee against O'Reilly and Fish for a 73 main event. Well done. Bobby Fish 70. Wow. Velveteen Dream 60. Keith Lee was the worst of the lot with a 58, which is slightly worrying, to be honest. Keith Lee. Anyway, the faces don't win here. I'm sure a lot of you are expecting Keith Lee to get the victory, but they don't win. Adam Cole gets involved in the finish, and it ends up Kyle O'Reilly can submit Velveteen Dream with an ankle lock. Sure, Keith Lee not involved in the finish, but Adam Cole is involved in the finish, and that results in Velveteen Dream getting beaten. 73. Post-match, the Undisputed Era destroyed Keith Lee, a 3-on-1 attack for 53. Not great either. To give us a 74 rated NXT, so still pretty good. Still pretty good, but we tried to pack a lot in there, and I feel like I haven't given it all the best time. We've had 3 really good matches there. There's 74 there. 76 and a 73, so that's really good. And I think if you class Kushida earlier as well, a 63, but some good angles as well. So yeah, solid stuff from NXT again. Okay, it's a big time NXT UK tonight. We're in Glasgow, Scotland, and the NXT United Kingdom Championships on the line. Drake Maverick will look to dethrone Volta. That's your main event. It's gonna be a big show. Let's crack on with it. We're going to start though with the Ojmo in action against Gabriel Kidd. And he defeats Gabriel Kidd in a 45 rated matchup. Really good stuff here. The Ojmo 51, Gabriel Kidd 26. But the Ojmo is improving. The show got off to a strong start and got the crowd buzzing, which is good. That's what you want from your opener. Really, really, really good. As he's celebrating his victory though, he's attacked by Rob Terry, who's fed up of watching the Ojmo get opportunities. He's ready to take his own. And Big Rob has taken out the Ojmo here. 35. We're opening up a storyline between the two lower level wrestlers on the NXT UK brand. The Ojmo's been impressing me. Let's stick him up in a feud now and see what he can do from there. Drake Maverick cut a 66 rated promo on Volta. Really good for NXT UK. That is really good. Talking about the fact that tonight he will upset the odds. The ultimate underdog. He will take all the tips he can from the likes of Rey Mysterio and so on and so forth. And he will defeat the giant. Volta will be defeated, says Drake Maverick. Backstage brawl between Trent Seven and Joe Hendry starts up. It soon involves Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff. A 4-man brawl, well 2-on-2 so to speak, just to hype up this NXT Tag Team title storyline. 47 is really good. Performance of Trent Seven was good. Eddie Dennis is getting better. His gimmick as well. Really, really, really good stuff. And that leads into the announcement from Johnny Saint. Next week we'll see Trent Seven take on Joe Hendry in one-on-one action. Trent Seven versus Joe Hendry. But don't think Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff won't be far behind somewhere. Martina was in action once again against the debuting Chikara for a 31 here. This is pretty good actually. Martina 29, Chikara 27. Yeah, that's okay. Martina getting another victory. She is helped by the fact I can't click these. That really does annoy me. She's appearing elsewhere and doing quite well in other places. PWG, I think, or something like that. So yeah, good stuff Good victory. Kaylee Ray would have been on commentary, and afterwards Martina gets on the mic. Didn't do well with that script, so that's interesting. Cuts a promo on Kaylee Ray talking about the fact that she's left her down in a heap once. Maybe she should do it again with a title on the line. Just a hint that Martina wants a shot. Promo from the NXT UK champion here. Volta says he will defeat Drake Maverick quite easily tonight because he's offended him. The mat is sacred, and Drake Maverick is, not worthy of being in the same ring as Volta. He will prove it tonight. 58 for the promo. Ahead of that main event then, Volta and Drake Maverick for the NXT UK Championship gets us a 56. So, okay, but lack of chemistry between the two. And as you can see, like many would have expected, Volta wins, defeats Drake Maverick in about 15 minutes with the Golden Bomb, his 7th defense of the title, and he succeeded again. 51 apiece for both men, and 56 didn't have good chemistry, which is a real shame. A real shame. But we'll move on from it though, because Imperium immediately rushed the ring, attacking Drake Maverick. It'll be Volta and Fabian Aichner, I suppose, more than anything. Alexander Wolf, we say, wasn't there tonight. And it's a good job, really, because out to make the save is Killian Dane. 51. Really good stuff from all four, really. Oh, well, 3. Killian Dane's not mentioned there, but Killian Dane makes the save and upsets the odds, really. 2-on-2 then. And he upsets, you would say, Imperium. So maybe we're going to start. Well, we are going to insert Killian Dane into this storyline. He's popular on the brand. He's got this badass babyface gimmick right now we're using with him. I think Killian Dane versus Volta could be the hell of a main event of perhaps an NXT UK takeover. But that might just be me. Gives us a 56 then. Really good NXT show, to be fair. So it was a big one, and that is really good. They've done well in the main event. Not spectacular, but they've done really well. A good opener too. The Ojmo is really killing it right now. Pretty impressive stuff. Smackdown then is the final show of the week. After that, pretty good NXT UK. Hopefully we can continue the momentum. We have a big 6-man tag in the main event. Braun, Roman and Bryan are teaming up against the SmackDown tag champions, Miz and the Morrison and Sheamus. So let's do this. We're going to open up though with Sami, Zayn and Cesaro in the ring, and they're going to acknowledge Shinsuke Nakamura's leaving without saying his name, because that's how they would do it. Let's start. So 68 rated segment. Zayn and Cesaro are out there, and they talk about the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura has left. They say, look, you can see we're missing a person in this group. We have had creative differences, and the Artist Collective feel that this person is no longer needed in this group, and we are going to go our separate ways. And, we wish him the very best in his future endeavours. Wink. But we'll see what happens in the future. What I will say is that there is an open slot for the Artist Collective. There is an open slot. Tonight, me and my good friend here, Cesaro, the maestros of the Artist Collective, will be taking on applications. We'll be taking on interviews throughout the night. You have from now until tonight our tag team match against the New Day to give us an option, and we will pick the new member of the Artist Collective tonight. 68, pretty good start, and setting up a show sort of spanning storyline is the idea. 68, pretty good. Heavy Machinery were in action against Lars Sullivan and Mojo Rawley. Good win for Otis and Tucker. Otis pinning Lars. 61, no problem at all. 63 from Otis was the man here. And getting a win back after losing the tag team title match last week. A bit of momentum towards Heavy Machinery just to keep them going, really. Bayley's backstage cutting a promo on Sasha Banks for 46. This is okay. Did well off script, but it is what it is. Sort of saying that Sasha's not here tonight and she wouldn't dare show her face because she was showing up last week. She showed exactly what she's meant to do, Bayley. She's meant to put Sasha Banks down and take back her SmackDown title. 46 is okay. The first of these interviews then sees Lars Sullivan interview first. Now, this can be a comedy type thing. Zayn and Cesaro playing it full on serious, like they're at a talent show type thing, X Factor, Simon Cowell type thing. Zayn and Cesaro are behind a table. Lars Sullivan enters the room and Zayn's like, name. Sullivan just Right, okay. Age. No, not for me. Not for me. Next. And yeah, Lars Sullivan is not accepted into the group. 65, actually. Pretty good. Bit of character building for these three, which is nice. We go to the Firefly Funhouse for a 70 rated segment, but find no one's there at all. The pictures have been taken down. The Firefly Funhouse seems to be on the move. Bray Wyatt is not there. What? 70 though, pretty good. Ricochet was in action for a 70 rated match against Dolph Ziggler. 65 from Ricochet, 60 from Dolph, and they booped it up to a 70. Ricochet was actually off his game, but still a very good match. I think these two would have a really good match. I don't think we've ever seen it. I could be wrong, but I think they'd have a really good match. 16 minutes they got. Ricochet defeats Dolph. And afterwards, the heels get on the mic and challenge Ali and Ricochet again for next week. They say, we want another shot at that matchup. So there we have Ziggler and Rude against Ricochet and Ali next week. Here's an interesting one. 56 for this. The next interview. Sami Zayn and Cesaro calling the next person. And in walks Sonya Deville. Now, Sonya Deville doesn't say much. And Sami Zayn goes, interesting. And they're sort of playing this properly tongue-in-cheek, fourth walls type stuff of the okay, interesting, a female member? And Sami Zayn goes, no, not yet, not right just yet. And that's it. That's all the segment is. Just a tease, maybe, a female member in the future. And just to play that fourth wall, like stare you in the camera type. Nah, not yet. We'll see. Type thing. 56 is pretty good. And get Sonya out there as well, which is nice. Former women's champion Bayley was in action against Naomi for a 62. So this is pretty good if you look at the performances. 56 and a 54 apiece. Bayley was actually off her game, but she gets the victory of the Bayley to belly. But after the match, as she's celebrating, she talks trash about Sasha again. And she is here. We see her arrive, and she is here. Sasha Banks rushes down to the ring and attacks Bayley for a 50, which is okay. Sasha Banks stands tall with the Smackdown Women's Championship, fully babyface now, and down to her former friend. And then we get the announcement that at SummerSlam, it will be Sasha Banks versus Bayley in Brooklyn. Oh, all the callbacks. These two will go one-on-one for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Miz and Morrison cut a good promo on Reigns and Bryan, asking who they think they are, sticking their nose in their business. Last week they defeated Otis and Tucker Heavy Machinery like all great tag team champions should. They should have been allowed to celebrate. They should have been allowed to do what they want. But no, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns stuck their nose in where it wasn't needed. And tonight they will stamp that nose to the ground. 74, good segment from Miz and Morrison. The final of these three sort of interviews sees Cesaro and Zayn interview Jeff Hardy for a 70. This is really good. He say, call in the next, and in wanders in Jeff Hardy. Jeff's just looking at the two of them like, and Zayn goes, right, okay, name, oh, well, Jeff Hardy. Okay, right, and why are you an artist? Well, I am an artist. I have friends. I have all these demons, and I like to put face paint on. I like to I'm an artist. Zayn goes, right, okay, well, we'll consider you. My people will get in touch with your people, I guess. And Jeff goes, sorry, consider me for what? I'm looking for the toilets, to be honest. And that's how you can play it. Comedy gimmick again, comedy segment, and it worked quite well. 70. Jeff would never interview for a heel stable, would he? But you can play it off as a comedy thing. More entertainment for Zayn and Cesaro. Building up towards this 6-man tag they're going to have. Sorry, building up towards this 4-man tag they're going to have. Can I count? The New Day cut a promo on Zayn and Cesaro here. Kofi Kingston struggled with no script, which is interesting. Big E did quite well. Talking about the fact that in this tag team match tonight, it's Zayn and Cesaro against Kingston and Big E. But if New Day win, whoever gets the pin gets the Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam. That's an added bonus in there, just revealed in this interview. The commentators can be like, what? Whoa, when did that happen? And then it goes into the match, 74 for the promo, by the way. And it's New Day against the Artist Collective. And the winner is Cesaro for a 74. Now that's not going to be That's going to be confusing to a few. As you can see here, Sami, Zayn and Cesaro defeat the New Day. Cesaro submits Big E with a sharpshooter after Elias runs down and turns on Big E. Elias, a babyface, he was against the Artist Collective last week, but we need a new member of the Artist Collective, and to me, the best man for the job would be heel Elias. He plays the guitar, he's an artist, he fits in perfectly with the group, and that's where we're going to go. So Big E 71, Kofi 77, really good performance. Cesaro 66, Zayn 70. I'm not sure this turn's going to go down well, but let's try it. 74 for the match. We'll handle the changes. Not that one, not that one. That one. Right, let's do it. Turn him heel. Not sure this is going to work. Yes. So the gimmick is great, as you'd expect with Elias' arrogant heel gimmick. And the turn went badly. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, well, it is what it is. We need to put Elias into that role, and that's what we've done. Elias now is the newest member of the Artist Collective. And just to add it in there, there's the 73, to add in the spice. They beat down all 3 men of the New Day, 3-on-3, and Elias officially takes his place within the group. Pretty good, 73. Braun Strowman could have 71 rated promo on Bray Wyatt, talking about the fact that Bray is obviously on his way here, and if he wants some, he can come and get some. He's not scared of the Fiend. He will destroy the Fiend. He will destroy the Fiend. 71 for the promo. Ahead of the main event and 6-man tag, Miz and Morrison teaming with Sheamus against Reigns, Bryan and Strowman gives us a 79 rated match. Oh my God, you're joking me. Every time we have a great match, I feel like we get hit with an injury. We'll discuss it in a minute. Reigns pins The Miz with a spear, meaning that the tag team champions take the loss here. But I think against Reigns, you can kind of get away with it. Really good match, 79. Bryan 83, Strowman 80, Reigns 78, Sheamus 68, Miz 76, Morrison 70. But Miz sustained an open ulnar fracture. Not sure what that means, but it could mean a problem. We will find out. Afterwards, though, as Reigns and Bryan leave the ring, Strowman's still celebrating, and here comes the Fiend. The lights start going out around the place, and the Fiend is appearing different areas of the arena at random times. Thanks, Tyson. Random 86 wow, 86, really good. But the Fiend arrived at random different areas, and Braun's getting a little bit freaked out. The lights go out. And there is the Fiend in the ring. Mandible claw on Braun Strowman. Leaves him down. And Braun is frothing. Braun is bleeding from the mouth from the mandible claw. Really putting over the Fiend big time here. 86 to end the show. Gives us a 77 rated Smackdown. Pretty good. Apparently I used Cesaro too much. But I thought that was quite good, to be fair. A lot of this show is really good. I feel like we've been underrated a little bit. But I will take it. Let's see what The Miz is doing before we go anywhere else. Because obviously, the plan is a SmackDown tag team match between Reigns, Bryan, Miz and Morrison. Is Miz going to put an end to that? Is he going to ruin me right now? I feel like he is. If we go to medical, which may have been down there, but I don't know. We'll go to office and we will go to medical. Right, he's out for 4 days. That's fine. That's fine. He's out for 4 days. That's really not a problem. So that's it then, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the episode. So I've actually recorded sort of 2 weeks in a row here. So last week and this week, because obviously I'm going to be away for a little bit. But things will go back to normal pretty soon. There may not have been a network save. If there hasn't been, I apologise for that. But make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when the videos come in and you're up to date with everything. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video to let me know you enjoyed it. Should we set another like target? Let's try and hit 10 again. I'm recording this not knowing whether you hit 10 last time. Hopefully you did. But if you didn't, this is your second opportunity. So let's see if you can do it again. 2 weeks out from SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver 30. Things are ramping up very, very nicely. Until next time, peace.